Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If you saw my first two videos, those were cards I got before Christmas, right? So in order to have them ready for a Christmas present, they were cards I bought prior to, say, Thanksgiving. Since Thanksgiving to about now, I've picked up another 9 or 10 cards that I'd like to share with you. But before we get started, if you remember in my first video, remember I told you about that Roberto Clemente that my mom had picked up and put a thumbtack through? Well, I was looking through some cards, and this is it right there. If you can see right up here is the thumbtack hole, right? And you can see it probably a little better on the back. Yep. But outside of that, look how beautiful this card is. The color on that card is just fantastic. You know, I've had this since I was a kid. I've had it for 50 years, and I'll never get rid of it. For two reasons, right? It reminds me of my childhood, and it reminds me of my mom, and both are really good things, right? I think there are some cards that the value they have to you sentimentally are worth way more than you could ever do from grading them, and this is one of them. This takes me back to my childhood and makes me think of good things. So I just wanted to share that. Let's jump into the cards I picked up. So over Thanksgiving, we went to see my daughter in Syracuse, and we stopped at a store in Niagara Sports Card near Buffalo, and I picked up these two cards. I picked up this 66 Koufax card, which, you know, the Koufax is, I'm a Dodger fan, right? And Sandy Koufax is one of the all-time great players for the, you know, pitchers of all time, especially for the Dodgers. The back of this card's really nice. It's centered pretty well. It does have a small crease here. So, you know, if it gets graded, that will take the price down. But it's a beautiful card, and you know, it's Koufax, right? It's the first Koufax I've ever owned, so I'm pretty excited to have it. Also picked up this 61 Clemente there, and this I think is a beautiful card, right? It's pretty well centered, and it's got a really nice picture to it. You know, I think, you know, as you know, Clemente is a favorite of mine, and Clemente and Aaron are a favorite of mine. And this card's gorgeous. I was really happy to pick this up and add it to the collection. Eventually, I will probably look to get this one graded. I also picked up this 56 Aaron, right? And this card, this one I picked up off of eBay. This one I believe is trimmed, to be honest with you. Even I believe it said it was trimmed. And it also has a little ink mark back here. Somebody wrote 44 on there. So it's not a high-end Aaron, but you know, it's a 56. Otherwise, it's a really pretty good looking card. And you know, I'm happy to get an Aaron into the collection. I would tell you that you know, I'm assuming if I grade it, it would probably be authentic because of that, which is okay. That's about the same price I paid. Whatever you is about what the authentic would be worth. But to have the Aaron, a 56 Aaron, for me, it's in the right price range, and it's a beautiful card. So I was happy to grab this one. Here we have a 68 batting leaders, right? And this one, you know, I love these cards. The funny thing about them is these cards are actually a lot cheaper, as you all know, than the actual individual cards, but I love getting them. I mean, look at this card. It's got 3 Hall of Famers on it, right? You've got Yastrzemski, you've got Frank Robinson, and you've got Al Kaline. So 3 all-time greats. You get 3 Hall of Famers in one card. The other thing I really like about it is you can flip it over, right? And you can see, you know, what was going on back there at the time, like what their batting averages were for the entire league. So anytime I can get one of these cards, I will. I think it's kind of a cheap way to pick up superstar players, and I like them in my collection. I will continue to pick them up. This one is a 1984 Don Mattingly O-Pee-Chee. You know, it's a Mattingly rookie card. The nice thing about it is the O-Pee-Chee, so it's out of Canada, a little more rare. It does have a bit of some sort of print flaw there in the front, and you know, the corners could be a little crisper. It's not a super great card, but sorry about that glare. It's a Don Mattingly rookie card, and you know, it wasn't overly expensive, so it was a nice one to pick up. Here's one that I was able to pick up really cheap, and I'm pretty happy about it. It's a Kirby Pocket. It's an 85 Topps Puckett rookie card, and you know, I think this card's pretty well centered. Left to right looks really good. top to bottom, I think is also pretty good on this card. Once again, Puckett was a great player. If you look at the back, it looks to be in pretty good shape. The glare, I think, is really just the card holder and not really the card itself. So Kirby Pocket rookie card. I picked this one up. A gentleman at my at one of the local card stores I go to next door, they were just selling some cards, and this one is an Aussie Smith rookie card, and it's way off center, as you can see, but I think I paid $20 for this thing, right? And it's an Aussie Smith rookie card, and you know, one of these centered is worth a ton of money, right? But this is it's not too bad in the back. If you look at it, it actually looks better centered in the back than it does in the front. It's not a high grade, but it was an Aussie rookie card, and for $20, I couldn't pass on it. Next up, I've told you I love the 71 set. I picked this one up off of eBay, this McCovey, and I picked it up fairly cheap. I think it's in really good shape. Corners looks pretty solid. There's no real dings on the actual black of the card itself. Centering left to right could be a little better, but outside of that, this is a really sweet card. I'm really happy to pick it up. I'm trying to get as the best Hall of Fame group on that 71 as I can. I'm doing a pretty good job on it. One of these days I'm going to get them graded. Before that, I'll probably share with you my 71 set. Down the road, I'll probably pick that as a video. And then this last weekend, I was up in Michigan. We have a place up there in Michigan that we go to visit, and I went to an antique store and I picked up a couple cards. The first I picked up was this 72 Nate Archibald. It's in really good shape. I love the 72 set for basketball. I didn't collect a lot of basketball growing up, right? You only had so much money, and it was usually baseball followed by football. But the 72 set is one that I did collect most of the cards on. This Nate Archibald's in pretty good shape. It's centered really well. I want to say it was like $9 for this. And, anybody that got to see Tiny Archibald play, wow, was he special. He could really light him up. So pretty happy to have a second or third year Tiny Archibald card. And the last card I picked up was this 1969 Brian Piccolo. This one was a little more expensive, but it's in really good shape. Got a little bit of chipping, but not a lot. It's just a pretty good looking card. The back looks really good. It's his rookie card. Brian Piccolo, I'm assuming, I would assume that everybody's seen Brian's song, but then most of you are a lot younger than I am. So if you haven't seen Brian's song, but I would assume you have, it was a movie made in the early 70s with Billy D. Williams and James Caan about Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo, their friendship and teammates' friendship. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend seeing it, although I will tell you, it's going to be hard not to shed a tear. I've seen that movie a million times, and I shed a tear every time. But this card, it's a cool Piccolo card, and I was glad to pick it up. So that's it. That's what I have to share with you today. So do me a favor. Let me know what you think. If you like it, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed or you want to subscribe, that'd be great. Subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think of the pickups. Until then, stay safe and keep collecting. Talk to you soon.